This is Justine, and I am going to do a 12 Days of Christmas video series starting with today, because it would be the 12 Days of Christmas, and today would be day one. And this is based on a tradition that my father used to do for my mom, and I'm doing this because this year is my family's first Christmas without my dad. My dad passed on April 20th of this year, unfortunately, and we lost mom in August of 2007. So this is actually our first Christmas with both of them gone. So uh, this 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 will probably be a rough Christmas for our family, and we lost my aunt too, unfortunately. So it's definitely a lot of really wonderful people not with us here. Still here, but not here. So I wanted to do something to kind of remember and recognize and honor mom and dad this Christmas. So I was inspired by dad's old tradition that he had for mom. What he did was every day, 12 days before Christmas, he would give my mom a cute or funny or sentimental little gift that he would, well, it wasn't really a surprise because he did it every year, but it was a surprise in that she didn't know what it would be. He would give her something each morning. 12 days before Christmas, and they were never, expensive or big kind of things. It really was an issue of it was the thought that counts, and they they were thoughtful, they were mindful of who she was and how important she was to my father, and the connection that they made to each other as a couple and as individuals, and how important they were to each other, not just as husband and wife, but as Jerry and Judy. And that always inspired me, because that took them out of their role as they weren't just mom and dad to me, they were Jerry and Judy, and they they showed me how people can connect at so many different levels, and at so many different stages of life and through stages of relationships. So even though they're not here physically, they're still an inspiration to me, and that's why I wanted to acknowledge them at this time of year, through telling a story each day for the 12 days of Christmas. Funny, sentimental, just like Dad's gifts used to be to Mom. One each day. So I thought that today, this being the first day that I'm going to do this, and the first story that seemed appropriate would be the story that Mom and Dad used to tell to us kids of how they got together. My mom and dad met each other when they were both enlisted in the United States Army, and they actually hated each other, as they told the story to us numerous times. When they first met each other, couldn't stand each other. Mom thought that Dad was overbearing and not nearly as funny as he thought he was, and Dad thought that Mom was bossy and opinionated, and that he would be a happier man if he didn't have to deal with her. But unfortunately, they were both in the traveling show that the United States Army had. My mother was one of the singers. My mom was an amazing singer back in the day before cigarette smoking ruined her voice. Don't smoke, it's very bad for you. Little public service announcement. My mom did die from cancer. Sad to say. Very, very sad. But I digress. And my dad did not sing. He was not one of the singers. Dad was a horrible, horrible singer. but he loved singing and he had a lot of fun doing it. So, hey, doesn't matter. Good voice or no. If you like to sing, sing. Again, I digress. But another public service announcement. Sing like nobody's listening. Anyway, back to the story. Anyway, both working with the show in the United States Army couldn't stand each other. How did they get together? How did we get to have Justine and Janine and Jason? Well, this is how it goes. Both of my parents got, my dad took someone else in the Army to a carnival that was stationed right outside of where they were stationed, where the Army was stationed, on a date. And somebody else took my mom to the same carnival on a date. My dad got dumped during the course of his date, and my mother got dumped during the course of her date while they were both at this carnival. And they ran into each other at the carnival and started commiserating with each other about the fact that they had both been dumped while they were at this carnival, and they bonded over the fact that they had been dumped and started, comparing traits and, well, how could somebody dump me because, I'm so fun because of da da da, and agreeing with the other one about, yes, you're right, you are funny, and yeah, you are fun, and hey, you want to grab something to eat, and, well, since we're here, we might as well, continue that on with the dates that we were on with other people, and they ended up spending the rest of the evening with each other. And one of the things that they did was play the game row of the carnival, and in doing so, my dad ended up winning this amazingly, obnoxiously ugly little gondolier bank. It was this little oval shaped bank that was supposed to be a Venetian gondolier. Ugliest thing probably not the ugliest thing that you've ever seen, but it should be on a list. And given how my father loved lists, it should have been on a list. But it was the first thing that my dad ever gave to my mom. And my mother kept this bank for years. And because this was a storytelling video set inspired by my dad's gift giving tradition, I thought that made this story also appropriate as the first story to tell you, because it was about the first gift that my dad ever gave to my mom, and also how they became a couple, and just a few short months later ended up getting married. And no, it wasn't because I was coming. It was actually because they fell that hard and that fast for each other once they gave each other a chance. So there's another moral to this story, boys and girls. You just never know. You just gotta give somebody a chance, because it might just be your true love waiting around the next corner at the carnival. So, that's it for today's story. I hope you enjoyed it. I will have another one tomorrow, and we'll have a total of 12. There'll be stories about my mom and my dad. Some of them will be stories about the two of them together. Some of them will be stories about just one or the other. And some will be funny, some will be sentimental. But they're all going to be about, at the heart of it, how much I love and adore and still respect my mom and my dad. And I want to share that with the world, and that's it for today. So thanks for watching and listening, and have a great day, and I'll just say happy holidays. Bye now.